Hi, I'm Marco Llanos, and I'm one of the technical engineers here. This is going to be one in a series of technical videos that we're going to produce to showcase some of the products that we offer. Today we're going to be showing the DiviCatch. The DiviCatch is one of our little devices that we sell here that's designed to analyze and capture transport streams. Let's go into the lab and take a look at how it works. Okay, so here we are looking at the Divi Series 6.1 software installed. We're going to skip past a few of the things like installing and get right to the portion of where it's already installed. The install is a basic Windows install, and you end up with this icon that you see. Once you go to launch it, you will see that it's gonna talk about the input that's already selected. In this case, it's going to be ASI. And remember, this is plugged into a USB 2.0 port. So it's telling you right here that the input is already selected of ASI. Do you still want to start it? You're going to answer yes, because that's what you want to do. This is the initial screen that you will see once you launch and you select the ASI input from the previous screen. It's broken up into 3 sections. Section number 1 is device selection. It's in the middle. Off to your left is input configuration. This is where you choose what your input is. In our case, it's ASI. It's already selected. And on the right side is output configuration. And this is, what it says. It's what is going to be coming out of here. So in our case, we have checked off IP forward and video, file record, and analyze. And you can pick any flavor you want. On the middle portion of the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it says receiving stream packets of 188 bytes, and you'll see a green blinking light. That lets you know that you're receiving ASI right now. If you did not have a signal going into it, you would have a yellow light and it would say no signal. Okay, we're gonna skip over to the monitoring section and show you some of the features that you will see. When you first open it up, you're going to have a blank screen like this, and you'll see it just monitoring on top. You'll see transport stream. These are all closed up at the moment. Services and PIDs. On the bottom right, you'll see little icons: ETR, bitrate, alarm, PCRs, and this launches the different tabs. So if you click on ETR, you get that screen. You click on bitrate, you're going to get those screen. You'll see what your bit rates are, alarms if any, and PCRs. If you open these up on the transport stream, you'll see what your ASI is that's coming in, and you can open up these little sections in here and get a little bit more granular into what's coming in. And you'll see the different, the tables, sections, and all the different parts that make up the transport stream. Under services, you'll see that you have an MPEG-2 video PCR in there. Under PIDs, you'll see the different PIDs that are in here. And if you want to take a look at one of them, we'll grab the largest one, which is 312 megabits, 3.12. And you would grab this guy, drag it and drop it in here, and you can start kind of analyzing what's going on here. What you see here is jitter. And if you move your mouse over it, you'll see it highlights the different parts of it, and it tells you what the jitter is. If you move your mouse off the screen, you can see it real time as it's going along. If you want to see something particular, if there's something really just off the map that shouldn't be there, you can drag your mouse over to it and it'll show you exactly what's going on, and you can analyze it further. The bottom portion of the screen you see is still moving along, so you can see what's happening there. Okay, now we're going to move over to the bitrate tab. And what you see here is the net bit rate. So you'll see it's a very variable bit rate. It's going anywhere from about it's going from about 3.3 to about 3.5 in the green line. Up above, you'll see the red line, which is the overall bit rate, or that's everything that's muxed together. Okay, we're discussing the alarms, and we're talking about how to set the alarms and the thresholds on them. If you click on this icon, you can go to the settings panel. Okay, we're discussing the settings panel for the alarms and the different settings that you can adjust here. If you look up here across the top, you'll see that you had RF, ETR290, bitrate, DVBH, etc. You may have all of these, or some of these, or one or two of these, depending on which DiviCatch you have. For the most part, with the one that we're using, we only have ETR290 and bitrate. So if you want to set the thresholds on the different alarms that you have, what you would do is go over here to overall bitrate, and you adjust your minimum, your maximum. Right now we have it on 2 and 25, and the net bit rate at 2 and 25, and you can do the same for PIDs, but for the sake of just this discussion, we'll just play with these two for right now. So right now at 2 and 25, 2 and 25, so if you go to monitoring, you should see that the lights are green because the stream coming in is less than 25 megabits per second. If you go toward the bottom here, you'll see that the critical status, it says critical bit rate, and net bit rate is it shows it coming in at 19.13, so it went above 5 previously when we had it set, but since there's no alarms right now because we're within that threshold, you'll see that these lights are green. So what we're going to do is change the threshold so the bit rate goes below there. So let's say we set this to 2 and make this 5 megabits, 5 megabits, and then we check them off, say OK, and go back to the previous monitoring screen. You'll see that the lights for the bit rate and overall bit rate are red. So you had an alarm. So if you look down below, you can see what caused the alarms. You'll see that the alarm was caused by net bit rate, because you can see the numbers moving, that it's 19, 14, it's a variable bit rate, but you'll see that it went well above the 5 megabits that we have set in the previous screen, so your alarms are red. You'll see that the lights are red, and you can't clear the alarms, even though you can try, or you can try to reset it, but they'll go back to red again because your previous screen, the threshold is too low for the stream coming in. Okay, we're going to discuss the settings menu for the ETR290 and just kind of briefly skim over it, since a lot of the settings are very similar to what we did in the bitrate section. You'll see this has to do with alarms, and you have different alarms and different thresholds you can set. So under the PAT error, continuity, PMT, etc., you can set different priority levels. So if you go to the little drop down menu across the top, you'll see that this says priority level 1. You have priority level 2, which has different types of errors. Priority level 3, which gives you even things that are a bit more granular, and synchronization, the other menu. These correspond to the monitoring menu and the different way that screen is broken down into grids. So you'll see when we go to the other screen that you'll see it broken down to priority level 1, 2, 3, and SFN synchronization. Let's take a look. So you'll see this is priority level 1, priority level 2, priority level 3, miscellaneous, and this corresponds to the previous settings that we had over there. You'll see that some of the alarms are green, some are red, and if you were to take a look down below like in the previous menu, you'll see that it tells you what your errors are about net bit rate, etc., and how it's going over the certain threshold that you set. If you reset these, most of these might go green, so let's see, and they did. Most of them went green. There's still a couple of reds because of what's set in the previous alarms menu. In conclusion, you'll see that this is a very useful tool to have if you need to take a look at your stream, you're having errors that you just can't track down as to what's going on, and you can use a utility like this to really break down the stream, very granular, to actually see what's going on and where your errors might be.